want to do is travel. That's it. I want to learn new cultures. I want to try new foods. I want to meet new people. I want to see this beautiful earth that we call home. Like, that's all I want.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. As you guys can tell from the title, I'm finally sharing my 2-week trip to Madagascar with you guys. I am so excited to share this trip with you guys. It is definitely probably the most unique and adventurous of all my travels I've ever did. And I also want to give a preface that this is a travel trip. This is a rough and ready travel. This is not a luxury vacation. So if that's kind of like the vibes that you're looking for, you're probably not gonna get it here. This is definitely a travel trip. So before we dive into the footage from the trip, I just wanna give a little bit of information about Madagascar and kind of how we came about traveling here. Madagascar is one of the most, if not the most, biodiverse countries in the world. 90% of its wildlife, plant life, etc. is endemic to the country, which basically means it's only found there. And when I tell y'all we got to experience so much of this wildlife in this video, you guys are gonna see later throughout the vlog, but truly just so many animals, birds, insects, plants, like it's insane. Like Madagascar is so unique that it's kind of like hailed as the 8th continent, which obviously it's a part of Africa. It's not its own continent, but it's so unique that people say that it should be its own continent. And the country is absolutely stunning. You kind of have every type of landscape, from like mountains to jungle to forests to beaches. It's crazy. Like, you guys are gonna see in this vlog how the terrains just change so frequently. It literally looks like you're in a completely different country. And so basically Madagascar has everything, and that's exactly why we went. So how do you go to Madagascar? How do you plan a trip to Madagascar, etc.? So what we did was hired a company called Mora Travel. I will link them down below. I will also have our full 2-week itinerary written out in the description bar if you're interested. It'll also help you follow along kind of throughout the video. But we essentially hired them, and they planned our trip from top to bottom. The only thing that we had to do separately was our flights into Madagascar. They were really great at planning the entire trip and handling everything. Communication was very good. However, we did have a few hiccups in our itinerary, so just be sure to like triple check your itinerary when you get it. So there were a few kind of like hiccups in our itinerary, but everything got smoothed out in the end, but just a heads up on that. So Madagascar is a place that you will need to travel with a guide, in a sense. It's not somewhere that is recommended to travel on your own. And what I mean by that is planning your own itinerary, driving around the country, maneuvering the country yourself isn't really recommended. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying it's never been done, but I will say that it is not recommended. And also the roads in Madagascar are extremely difficult to navigate, as they are not the best roads. And you guys will kind of get to see that a bit more in the video as well. So without further ado, let's just hop into this vlog, and I hope y'all enjoy it. We are going to Madagascar. I like to move it for 2 weeks. So I am currently in London. So to travel to Madagascar, we have to catch a train this evening, the Eurostar from London to Paris. And then we will be flying out from Paris tomorrow to head out to Madagascar. So I can only speak to what you need traveling as a US citizen. I'm not sure how it would differ coming from other countries, but you do not need any kind of shots or vaccines to travel to Madagascar. It is recommended to take malaria pills, as Madagascar does have a high malaria rate. So I definitely ordered mine. I got them prescribed from an online clinic, and they came right to my door super duper quick. I had to start taking them today because we will not be in Madagascar until technically Thursday, or Friday. We get there early Friday morning, like midnight, and it's currently Wednesday, so I don't know if I said that. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Outside of that, as far as a visa is concerned, if you are staying more than 15 days in Madagascar, then a visa is required. They are given upon arrival, so you do not have to get it previously and prior to arriving. And from my understanding, the website that you get it from isn't the best anyways. So, and I believe it's 35 euros if I'm not mistaken. It's also highly recommended that you get cash in their currency, which is a Malagasy Ari. Ooh, I'm butchering it. They also do not speak much English at all. Their first spoken language is Malagasy. I don't know how to pronounce it. Again, we will find out. And then second to that is French. So English is not in the category. And oui, no Francois. So we gonna figure it out. But we do have a tour guide, an English speaking tour guide, so they should be able to help us along the way. I'm trying to make this as informative as possible because I'm like, oh, I feel like people want to know like what's going on. So we are going to be moving around Madagascar, all across the island, all across the country, to different parts to really just get a good experience of the place. Lots of national parks, the beaches. So this should be really interesting. Like I said, this is a travel trip, not a vacation trip. While there will be bits of vacation, it is mostly a travel trip. So this isn't your cutesy, glamorous, like be fabulous trip. You could try to make it that, but we're not doing all that, okay? This is considered the cooler dry season currently in Madagascar. So while the temperatures are not as high as they get later and earlier in the year, they are a lot drier. So there's not as much rain during this time, which don't nobody want it to be raining when you're traveling. As far as packing is concerned, definitely brought light sweaters, a few hoodies for like the evening time when it is a bit cooler, pants, shorts, tank tops, linen pants, breezy, comfortable, athleisure, athletic wear, as we will be doing a lot of walking and exploring and things of that nature. So yeah, y'all. Oh, and the plugs in Madagascar are European plugs. Okay, so I will update you guys when we get to the train and we'll kind of enjoy that experience together. If you've never traveled on the Eurostar, that'll be really cool. It's like a bullet train. I don't know if it's really a bullet train, but it's a really super fast train from here. It probably goes to a bunch of places. I've only ever taken it from here to Paris. So yeah, we'll experience that together later. And they actually canceled my first like trip and I had to reschedule it. So anyways, we'll do it when we do it. Service, but they are coming around to let everyone know that they are not doing food service. They're saying it's because of the delays on the train, because our train was delayed by 10 minutes, but I'm not really sure what a 10-minute delay has to do with you not being able to serve food, especially when you pay, like, the Eurostar isn't what I would consider cheap, especially not when you're paying for the business experience, so they're not feeding anybody. And I literally didn't buy food at the train station because I was like, oh, we're gonna eat on the train. We've landed in Paris. Waiting on a taxi now to go to the hotel. The long line of taxis until you get yours. We're in the taxi, headed to the hotel. The hotel I'm staying at is Hotel Denel. Y'all, we have made it to the hotel room. Like I said, we're staying at Hotel Denel. I don't remember the classification of room that I got. Editing Allyiah, put it on the screen. We're not gonna do like a cute aesthetic-y room tour because it's just not that kind of vibe. We are here for literally less than 12 hours. We're here for like 7 hours. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick overview of the room. Oh, there's a toilet here. Okay, well, when you first come in, here we are. There's a light. That's not a mirror. Okay, there's a light. And then here is the toilet, literally as soon as you come in the room, which is interesting. And then when you walk further into the room, the bed, it's honestly, for a Paris room, it's a pretty decent size in my opinion. The rooms are always so small. You have like a little working desk if you wanna work. Now the bathroom is actually really nice. Look, and like really spacious. Ah! Interesting shower setup now that I'm kind of looking at this. Or is there a shower around the corner? Oh, okay, no, this room is kind of lit, not gonna lie. That's cute. And then this is the tub. I'm not gonna use it, but it's there if I wanted to. That is the room. Alrighty, y'all, about to go to bed. I am so tired. Our flight is at 10:10 tomorrow morning. We're leaving at like 7 a.m. because it's the Olympics, and baby, we are not missing this flight, okay? So we gotta make sure that we leave early enough just in case of traffic and just different things. So good night. See you guys in the morning. Guys, we are in the taxi headed to the airport bright and early. It is basically 7:30. The flight is at 10:10 a.m. It's expected to take about 50 minutes or so to get to the airport. We were supposed to leave at 7, but clearly. Hopefully we get there nice and early so we don't have to rush. When I'm not rushing, I can vlog more and show you guys more. So it's always ideal for me to try to leave earlier anyways. And then I'll show you all my little airport outfit. Super chill, super comfy. See you there. Alright, you guys, we are now boarding the flight. Like I said, we're flying Air France and we are flying business. So I'll show you guys kind of the plane and the experience with that. So we have made it onto the plane. We have a 10-hour and 10-minute flight to Antananarivo, the capital of Madagascar. We are taking another flight tomorrow morning to start off our trip at Nosy Be. You guys have seen me on planes so many times, so I don't really think it's necessary to like go through this. It's your typical plane. Like, we're in the seat. You've got your waters and things that you need here. And yeah, chill. Also, just a quick tip when you're traveling, there's an app that you guys can use to be able to use your phone abroad. It's called Allyiahsface. This is the name of it here. I'll put it on the screen. And you can buy eSIMs for tons of different countries, Madagascar included. So I would suggest buying your eSIM before you get there because you need good service to connect it. So I've already purchased mine, and you can top it up while you're there. Now they do say the service there is not the best. We'll find out, but just a quick note. Just landed in Madagascar. It is 11 p.m. So let's see if our sim is gonna work and get our luggage and head to the hotel. We've made it in. I've got my stamp. So exciting. You do need a visa upon arrival, even if you are not staying for 2 weeks. It was a little unclear online. So basically, if you're staying over 2 weeks, you will need a visa. It's 35 euro. They do it on site so quick. Since we're staying for under 2 weeks, we just had to pay a $10 euro visa, like a short-term visa. But it was only 10 euros. It was super quick. We literally took 5 minutes to get through immigration. So I got my nice new stamps. As you guys can see, we have made it to Madagascar safely. The flight was okay. I'm not a huge Air France fan, but it's the only direct flight, so we took it. After the super awkward walk of shame, as you guys seen, when you come out of the Antananarivo airport, it's packed with people, and it was dead silent. It was so awkward. But anyways, we found our driver, which again was arranged through the travel company. Also, I'm not sponsored by them. We paid for this. We also got some cash out from the ATM in the airport. It's very, very recommended that you get the local currency. We got about 500 USD out, and that lasted us for the entire 2 weeks. It was plenty of money. Once we were finished with the ATM, we hopped in the car with our driver and they drove us to our first hotel in the capital of Antananarivo. The drive was very eventful. We were stopped by the police. I did not get this on camera, but we were stopped by the police, who then essentially asked us for money. We declined and they simply let us go. They didn't speak English, so that's another advantage in a situation like that, is that you can just be like, I don't know what you're saying. So that was very eventful. First night in, you know, so just, it could happen, whatever. Nothing bad. It was just very interesting. We made it to the hotel. All right, y'all. Checked into the hotel. We're staying at the Grand Hotel Urban. We're literally here for like 3 hours because our flight to Nosy Be is at 5 a.m. It is currently midnight, 12:30. On our way here, the police were doing like checks in the road. They were trying to like bribe us basically to give them money. We didn't, but just know like that could happen when you come. But yeah, I'm tired, y'all. We're literally here for 3 hours. There's nothing to really see. It's a standard room. It's a nice little boutique room. Clean bed. There's like a couch, a random like tub, and then a really big bathroom through here. Anywho, I'll check in with y'all in the morning. Bye. Good morning, everyone. My camera is dying, but I'm about to change the battery. By good morning, I mean it's a couple hours later. It's literally 2:45. The driver should be downstairs to take us to the airport to catch our flight to Nosy Be. Let me show you guys what I'm wearing. We are doing a like trek, kind of like a hike, pretty much as soon as we landed Nosy Be. So I'm just wearing like a little workout set. This is from a brand called Arne, I don't know, I found it on Instagram randomly, but I really like their stuff. We're gonna head downstairs. They prepared a to-go breakfast for us, which was really nice. And can't lie, I'm like hungry, which is weird, but because I'm never usually hungry like early in the morning, but I guess this is like late at night. Whatevs. So we're about to go try to catch our flight. Hopefully it's not delayed, because that would just be so annoying considering how tired we are. So check in with you guys in a little bit. So we only got to take a quick power nap because we had a flight the very next morning to take us to Nosy Be. Nosy Be is a beautiful island on the northwest coast of Madagascar. Absolutely stunning and beautiful. And this is where the travel agent decided to have us begin our trip. So we're starting with a little relaxation, nothing too crazy. So like I said, we got our things after like a quick 2-3 hour little nap. The hotel provided us with breakfast. All of the hotels in this itinerary do provide breakfast for us, so that was so nice. They packed it to go for us. We hopped in the car and then we headed to the local airport, or the domestic airport, which is right next to the international airport, and got ready for our flight. We are flying Madagascar Air to Nosy Be. So let's check that out. This is our breakfast. We've got yogurt, and then I don't know, I think it's like juice, fruit. Very nice little to-go breakfast. Made it to the airport nice and early. There's a line to get in the airport. It is so cold outside, like freezing. Way colder now than it was before, so. I want to pop in and just say that we are traveling during their winter season. So it was pretty chilly at night. I'm talking, you need to bring some sweaters. It was cold. And it told us about 54 degrees. It feels way colder than that. Or maybe I'm just a warm-blooded girl, but it was freezing to me. Also, the airports move pretty slow. Everything's pretty much done like by hand when we were there. So definitely make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to move around. And there's very few domestic flights daily. So if you miss a flight, that's it. Oh my God! All checked in, headed to the plane. Oh my goodness. This is the plane we're taking. All right, y'all, so we are boarded on our Air Madagascar flight from Antananarivo to Nosy Be. It's a full flight. So it's supposed to be an hour and a half, and then we're there. We're gonna get picked up from the hotel, drop our stuff off, and go straight into our tour for the day. I will link it down below. We're basically going to Nosy Iranja. No, not today. I can't remember what it's called, but it'll be on the screen, and I'll refresh my dome for you guys. It's been a long day, okay? But made it. So it was a super quick little flight. I can't even lie, y'all. I was a little bit nervous when I seen that plane. Did y'all see the propellers? I have never seen that in my life, but we made it safely. And at this point, we grabbed our luggage and we met with our transportation to take us to our hotel in Nosy Be. This was, again, all arranged through the agency. For our stay in Nosy Be, we stayed at the Anjiamarango beach resort. I don't know how to say it, but it's gonna be on the screen as well as down below. This property was so stunning. It was located right on the water. I mean, the grounds were absolutely beautiful, and they offer like bungalows essentially that you stay in. They're extremely spacious, very rustic of a stay. Again, be prepared, but still so beautiful nonetheless. They do have a restaurant on property that offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because you will pretty much be eating on property for the most part when you're doing these stays. So we packed this trip in from the moment we got to the hotel. Our tour guides for the tour to Nosy Komba that we're doing were already waiting for us. So we put our luggage in the room, put on our hiking gear, and met with our tour guide because we are going to go hike Nosy Komba. Nosy Komba is an island very, very close. It's about a 30-minute boat ride from Nosy Be, and we're gonna hike it, and it's a good all day long hike. This was probably one of my favorite parts of the trip. Let's check it out. Alright, y'all, so we got settled into the room. I'll show you guys a little bit more of it when we get back. We're kind of in a rush. I'm at breakfast now because we definitely need to get a little bit to eat before we go on this hike. So we're going to Nosy Komba and gonna do like basically a hike up like a mountain essentially, sort of, kind of. I'll explain it a little bit better, but and then we're going to the black lemur sanctuary, because that is the only area where the black lemurs are. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Let's go have some fun. You've been caught up with the bitches. I don't get it, you're a star, love. You shouldn't have to deal with that. I'd never make you feel like that. 'Cause I love me. I love me enough for the both of us. That's why you trust me.
We are going to start to hike top of the mountain.
622.
Yeah, yes.
Say it again.
Meters.
Meters.
Oh. Some of them make it earlier. In the market, you have to jackfruit.
Oh, jackfruit. Yeah, it is a jackfruit.
Normal pepper is this, and we have also wild pepper grow from its tree. And this one is grow from its vines.
Hey.
When you break it.
Ground
pepper, yeah.
Oh, it's sweet.
Yeah. But don't chew it. Just suck it. Then you tell me the name. I think you've heard, you've smelled this.
Ginger. Oh, it is ginger?
No, you know
it is ginger. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Then you
can taste it?
Yes.
So just grab one. Oh, okay.
Just suck it. And if you want to see something inside, bite. You see.
Sour.
Like bitter.
Halfway done. Hello. Hello, puppy. Hello. Bonjour. So beautiful. Bonjour. Oh, big snake. Is it dead?
It's not poisonous, but it's so aggressive.
Look at him. He's so cute. His little tongue. They're so cute.
It's called the cola. We take those part off. Then we have like a red one there. And we take this part and we chew this one. Then we got excitement by getting excited, getting strong.
It's a drug?
Yeah, drug. It's like a, it's not drug like a marijuana, but this one is legal in Madagascar.
It makes you like hype.
Yeah, for example, when you've been working hard, then you got tired, then you chew this one, you got excited.
Oh, so it's like Coke.
Get water. Then we drink. Down part left.
Oh, wow.
Better.
Wow.
I feel better too. Real high.
If you remember, Nosy Komba is a Komba.
Komba.
You can say Komba.
It tastes like Sprite.
From the flower,
Okay.
the flare.
Flower. Thank you.
Very good.
Merci. Where? That one is big and he's looking at us. Look at him. He's so cute. He looks like Theo. Oh shit. I need my phone.
They live in around 35 and 25 years.
Like, what are you here for?
Come on,
Cool. I do.
come on.
Oh, they're hungry.
Smell first
Yeah.
before coming up.
He's like, I don't know about that.
What is that? You show him. You're so smart.
Yeah.
They
They're like, that's not a
want it.
banana.
They do
No.
want it.
They're kind of just like, just give it to me though.
Okay, let them
insane.
free.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's beer. That is beer. We tried it. It's not for me. Oh. So as you guys can see, that hike was so incredible. Now this hike is something that we did opt into outside of our agency. They did not coordinate that for us. We booked that through TripAdvisor, I believe, or Viator, one of them. It'll be linked down below. So that hike was absolutely incredible. It was, not only was it very like intense, it was very steep at points, but it was really cool because seeing like the villages like among the mountain that you're climbing essentially was just so cool. And so there's so many locals everywhere just living their life. It was just very, very nice and so much vegetation, and it was really, really cool. So as you guys can see, we've had a very eventful first few days. It's only been 20 hours and we've already checked into 2 hotel rooms, taken a domestic flight, a boat ride, hiked up 600 kilometers, seen some lemurs, tasted food, tasted Malagasy beer, families, went through villages, seen a snake. We just done it a lot. Oh, and y'all, the meal at the end, the shrimp that I had, did y'all see them shrimp? I still think about them to this day. So after our hike at Nosy Komba, once we finished, we went through the village, we went to the lemur sanctuary and we ate. We took a boat ride back to Nosy Be, and baby, we passed out. We were so tired because we barely slept all this time, and then we just exerted a lot of energy on that hike. So we went straight to sleep. Now, if you thought what you've seen so far has been so beautiful, oh girl, this next day we were nice and well rested. We are heading to probably the most beautiful beach in Madagascar, and that is at Nosy Iranja. What's so cool about Nosy Iranja is It is 2 islands that are connected through a sandbank that during a certain time of the day when the tide pulls out, you can walk across the sandbank to the other island. But when the tide is up, it looks like 2 separate islands. It's so beautiful, so cool. You know what? Let me just stop talking, roll the clips. All right, you guys, it is the next day. We have another tour today. We are going to Nosy Iranja and Harara. Ooh, I'll be butchering the names. But this is probably one of the most beautiful beaches in Madagascar, and that's where we're going today. So I'm probably gonna be vlogging on my other little camera. Let me show y'all what I'm wearing. You can't see my bathing suit, but I have on this really cute one from Monday Swimwear. Oh, the lighting in the room is so bad, but we're running late, so I'm gonna throw y'all in my bag and we're gonna go and we're gonna have some fun. All right, you guys, we made it to Nosy Iranja. It is stunning. It reminds me of the Maldives, but like even nicer. Beautiful. There's lots of locals here. There's lots of tourists here. It's very lively. I don't know if y'all can see, like there's like a lot of shops and stuff that the locals have posted up to like sell things and goods. So I need to get my Aunt Darcel a little like doll from here.
Going to be in the low tide in the afternoon.
To be able to walk.
Yeah, walk.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna try to walk across from this part to the other island. We'll see how long it takes. It looks like the tide has kind of went out a little bit so that you can walk all the way across. So let's see. I don't know if you guys can see way down there. All the people are walking across. So we're gonna see if we can do it.
Angelina, you dey cool my temperature. If you call, I go and deliver. I no go fall in your hand never. So now me you go love forever. I'm a cocky no
more rocks on this side.
I'm a Angelina, I'm a Angelina.
Yeah, we made it back from going to the entire other side, as y'all seen. Now we're trying some Malagasy rum. It's called Tropic Punch Cocoa. Ooh, it's really strong. Kind of like it tastes like a thicker, what is that? Malibu. So imagine Malibu, but like with like a milky kind of like horchata almost type of vibe, like Bailey's. Like really sweet, but good. It's good. So we're waiting on food. Food is supposed to be served soon, and so far, y'all, the Malagasy food has been a hit. The shrimp I had yesterday, I had like a chicken thigh for dinner. I didn't show y'all dinner last night, but that was good. So I'm hyped because I'm starving. Okay, we're starting with what looks like some sort of carrot salad. Good. It kind of gives like Thai vibes. So next we've got rice.
Have as much as you need.
It's really good. We've got some kind of skewer. Let's see. I don't know what kind of meat this is. It has like a seafood taste. Now I have a shrimp. I don't usually like shrimp like this, so I'm a little nervous. Let's see.
Yeah.
Not a fan. What an absolutely beautiful trip, country, like island. This was so nice, y'all. Been in the sun all day. I'm definitely sunburnt because I did not reapply my sunscreen like I should have. We're about to get back on the boat. We're supposed to be meeting them up in like 5 minutes. So yeah, it was nice. I got some really cute pictures, I think. Y'all know I'm be slacking on my pictures, but I think I took some. If you come to Madagascar, you have to come to Nosy Be, and specifically Nosy Iranja. God, I can never say it. Injara. Anyways, y'all, it was a beautiful, beautiful trip. The boat ride from Nosy Be is about an hour. So earlier, the boat ride we took is an hour long, and then our hotel that we're staying at is an hour from the port. So we've got quite a journey back home. And then tomorrow we don't have anything booked. We're having like a little free day, so we'll kind of see like what we plan. But yeah, the lunch that they served is very filling, very nice. They give you a lot of different options like fish, crab, shrimp. I didn't show you guys everything because it was just moving quickly and there were so many flies, so it was hard to like eat and talk and pull the camera out. But yeah, so we're about to meet up with the crew and get on the boat and get back home. We are back from the beach. We had a drive back for like, or a ride back in the boat for like an hour. They stopped at another lemur beach, but girl, I was too tired, so I just stayed on the boat. Now we're in the van about to head back to the hotel. It's about an hour drive. And then look at this really cool instrument we bought. Hold on, let me see if I can play it for y'all. Isn't that cool? And while we were waiting to go home, got some ice cream. Vanilla and Madagascar vanilla lit. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day. Today is our last day in Nosy Be. We leave this evening. I think our flight is at 7:30. I have to check our itinerary again, but just woke up. Gonna get some breakfast. I'll show you guys what I'm wearing. It's nothing special, but just for the sake of the vibes. On this little like green two-piece set from, I got it on Revolve. I think it's by Michael Costello. I think that's, I don't know, girl. But it's just a baggy. It kind of looks like pajamas, but it's not. It's real chill. And then I have it tied up in the back just to kind of, you know, make the waist look cute. We're gonna get some breakfast. We actually haven't had breakfast here yet, so this will be the first breakfast that we have. Last night was horrible. There was a giant spider. First of all, 2 spiders. I go to the toilet because I'm like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna have a nice time, but I always inspect the bathroom because you guys see we're like outside essentially. So I go in the bathroom, I'm peeking around, boom, giant spider. Almost have a heart attack. Okay, get rid of the spider, cool, move on to go to bed. Come back from dinner to go to bed. Giant spider on the mosquito net. And this one was giant, for real, for real. Also got rid of it, but the nerves are bad. So about to pack up our stuff because we leave at 4:30 to go to the airport. I'll kind of give you guys a rundown of the next part of the itinerary, but unfortunately we are not able to stay in the room until it's time to leave. So we have to be out by 12, which is in like an hour. So gonna pack up our stuff. That way we're all out of the room and we'll just hang out on the property until our airport transfer comes. So today we are flying from Nosy back to Tana, Antananarivo, the capital of Madagascar. And then we'll be staying overnight in Tana and then flying out tomorrow, or not flying out, driving tomorrow to Antsirabe. So lots of traveling these next couple of days. This next week is about to be like super travel, see as many places or parts of Madagascar as we can. So this was a great part or a great way to begin this stay. Nosy Be was amazing. We really enjoyed it. The beaches are stunning. If you're coming, definitely suggest coming to Nosy Be and going to specifically Nosy Iranja. Nosy Iranja. I'm gonna pack up and then talk to you guys when we start heading to the airport. All right, we are leaving Nosy Be. This is the airport. You check in here. All right, guys, we have made it back to Tana, or Antananarivo, the capital. We leave in the morning to head to Antsirabe at 8 a.m. It is midnight now. I just got out of the shower. I'm so tired. But we got a long drive in the morning. So I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm gonna go to bed and we will get started on our journey tomorrow to go explore more of Madagascar. So that pretty much concludes the first portion of our trip. We started off with some relaxation before we started getting into the heavy-hitting adventure travel, rough and riding it. Nosy Be was absolutely breathtaking. I'm so glad that we had that added in our itinerary, as well as Nosy Iranja. Absolutely beautiful. So now that we are back in Antananarivo, we are going to begin our journey to Antsirabe. Please excuse my butchering of the names. I'll be trying my hardest. This is about a 5-hour drive from Antananarivo. And we have now met our guide and our driver, Mr. Jocelyn, who is going to be with us pretty much until the end of our trip. He will be driving us to all of our destinations and showing us around. And he was great. And this again is provided through the travel company. Everybody, it is Monday.
So, nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you.
So, where are you from?
There's our tour guide, Mr. Jocelyn. Taking us around.
No, so I speak English. So I do that mura slowly. Yes, yeah.
We are now headed to Antsirabe. We have about a 4.5-hour drive, depending on how the roads are. So
with the accents, for one person you can say salama, or for a 5 person or a many person, you like a singing. Salame. Salama is salama everybody. And veluma means goodbye. And nisoj means thank you. This is a language national Malagasy. All people in Madagascar can understand this words.
So we have made it to Antsirabe. This is kind of like just like a stopover. My little girls. This is kind of just like a stopover for us to get to Ranomafana. So we checked into our hotel. This is the Arotel. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Everything is gonna be linked and said down below. So our driver is about to come back and take us kind of around the town, just to kind of like check it out, see what's going on over here. And then we stay the night tonight, and then we leave tomorrow to head to Ranomafana. So like I said, really quick stopover. It took about 5 hours to get here. Technically it shouldn't take that long, but because of the roads, they're not the best here, so definitely takes a little bit longer to get wherever you're trying to go. I don't think I've ever seen children swinging from a manual Ferris wheel to get it to turn. He wasn't even riding the Ferris wheel, he just wanted to spin it. What you will notice is days kind of like today are pretty much just travel days and stopovers getting us to our next destination. So pretty much all we did today was travel to Antsirabe and just kind of go around the town, check out the locals, and just relax for a bit. Because the next day we have another long travel day to Ranomafana. Hey everybody, we are back in the car and we are now headed to Ranomafana. We have an 8-hour drive. So it's gonna be a long one. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's freezing here in Antsirabe. It's very, very, very cold, but it's gonna get warm as we drive and as the day goes on. So yeah, we're headed to Ranomafana. Let's get to driving. We have made it to Ranomafana. We're staying at the Centrest Hotel. I'll give you guys a quick little tour so you can see the vibes. But in like 30 minutes, we're about to go on a night national park tour in Ranomafana. This is supposed to be where we can see the mouse lemurs, the cute little itty bitty lemurs. If you've seen Madagascar, then you know the small one that everyone found was annoying, that King Julius hated. Yeah, that one. So hopefully we can see those, and I want to see some chameleons. I want to see the pinch. I like how their hands like this. So hopefully we can see it. Hopefully my camera will pick it up. I gotta change. Right, we are headed to the night walk to go see the nocturnal species like the mouse lemur, some chameleons, and a bunch of other things. And we have been informed we will not be seeing any fusas. But it'll still be really cool. It's just like an hour walk, nothing too crazy. And then we'll do like a hike in the morning. So excited. We've made it. We're looking for the animals. There's so many people here too. First chameleon we found. He's really tiny. If I zoom out, you guys probably won't even see him. He's so cute though. This is what I wanted to see. Look at his eyes and his little claws, the little pincers that I was telling you about. Well, they're not pincers, it's just his hands. So cute. Hello, goodbye. It's so dark on the street, but we're gonna find the chameleons.
The people they say is near discovered, but over Madagascar we know. Right, you already know. There's one really camouflage color here, like a dyed leaves. Similar as the dyed leaves. Little bit.
Hi, Mama. The moths are going nuts on my head right now. So.
2, 3.
Oh my goodness. Ranomafana, as you guys can see, was such a success. This was probably one of the parts that we were most excited for, that night hike that you guys just seen. That was the whole reason we made sure that Ranomafana was on our list, because we absolutely wanted to see the mouse lemur. I was hype about the chameleons. We've seen so many different animals and species and just different crazy things, girl. And it's not really a hike, they call it a night hike, but you're actually kind of just standing on the side of the road near Ranomafana National Park, which we are going to be actually going inside of tomorrow, which you'll see in the next clips. However, we're just standing along the roadside here and you can still see so much. It was really amazing being able to see the mouse lemur because they are very difficult to see, very rare. And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, if you could see the mouse lemur, it's like your trip was complete. So we were just real hype about that. And also it's so crazy how Madagascar, the movie, really depicted the different lemur species so well. Anyways, after that night hike, we went back to the hotel, relaxed. As you can imagine, every night we're very tired. Like we're ready to sleep. As you can see, we're very active throughout the day during this trip. So when we get back to the hotels, we're eating and sleeping immediately. And we wanted to make sure we were very well rested because the next day is a very busy day. Not only do we have an 8-hour drive to Ranohira, we also wanted to do a 2-hour hike in the Ranomafana National Park. So we got up real early, went to the park first, and y'all really gonna get to see. Alright guys, it's the next day. Yesterday you see me did the night hike and that was really, really cool, or night walk. It wasn't really a hike. Now today we are hiking through the National Park of Ranomafana. There's supposed to be tons of different lemurs, tons of different birds, chameleons. We're in the office now to pay for our guide. So yeah, it should be fun. All right, we're in the park now, hunting, well not hunting, searching for lemurs.
This park, it was created in 1991, but before 5 years ago, so the researcher found the golden bamboo lemur. These types of lemurs especially found in this park. So in 1986 they discovered that species, and then after 5 years they built that park. And we have 12 species of lemurs, 7 they are active and 5 night active. Yeah, and belong this 7 active they also. We have 3 types of bamboo lemur: the greater bamboo lemur, the golden bamboo lemur, and the Ranomafana grey lesser bamboo lemur. But you know, unfortunately, about the greater, only one left in this park. Only one.
Only one?
Yes, because they were group and his family hunted by the predator, because they have several types of predator here, like fusa, mongoose, boa and the big bird like eagles and falcon. Yeah. You know, it grows 3.5 centimeters every day.
The bamboo.
Yes, the bamboo.
Wow.
But in they have low flowering, so they can't grow up there. That's the limit. Because they have that size more than 20 meters, their body can support himself. And that's the limit of the growth.
We are leaving Ranomafana and headed to Ranohira. So we finished in the national park. It was so cool. We seen 3 or 4 different lemur species. There was tons of birds like everywhere. We're not really bird watching types of people, but if you're into bird watching, definitely a great place to go. Our guide was great, showed us all kinds of little facts and things about the park, and yeah, look at this. So now we have an 8-hour drive to Ranohira. And from there we're going to be going to the Isalo National Park tomorrow, where we're going to see even more lemurs. So yeah, it was really, really cool. We got to see the golden lemur, the greater bamboo lemur. There's some other ones too. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. I'm not feeling the best this morning, so yeah, but it was a good little 2-hour hike, trek, nature walk, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I hit my head a million times because I can't focus on the top and my feet at the same time. Yeah, so I will check in with you guys when we make it. So after that beautiful hike, a little mini hike, a little 2-hour trek in the Ranomafana National Park, we started our drive to Ranohira, which is about a 7 to 8 hour drive. And I can't lie to you guys, this day I was not feeling good at all. I was very nauseous. I didn't feel, ooh, girl, I don't know what was up with me, but I was sick. I didn't record a single thing on the way to Ranohira because I was asleep. I slept the entire drive. But when we made it to Ranohira, you guys, we stayed at the Isalo Rock Lodge. Absolutely beautiful. And it is the nicest hotel that we've stayed at this entire trip. This was luxury, okay? But this was the only spritz of luxury we got on this trip, but it was absolutely beautiful. So this day we just relaxed and just slept in the room. You can imagine we were very tired after our long driving day and hike. And we were just preparing for the next day, which is another hiking day, where we are hiking, we're doing an all-day hike in the Isalo National Park. This random natural pool in the middle of like the canyon. It's insane. So it was a great little stop off to go swimming in the middle of the hike. So nice. And everyone's swimming and just having a good time, but cold as hell. So be prepared. So So we just finished at the natural pool. We're gonna continue on the hike, walk, trek, whatever you wanna call it, for a little bit more. So let's get it. So now it's time for lunch. I ain't gonna hold you. I would kill for a hot dog right now. One thing about me, y'all know, I love a good hot dog. Barbecuing, I can like smell the fire and stuff, so I'm not sure what we're eating. I think it's chicken, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God, my legs are shaking. We've got a friend joining us for lunch. I don't know if you guys can see the lemurs right there. He wants the food bad. Didn't I tell you it was beautiful? From the canyons to the pools to the lemurs, it was just insane. It was an insane hike. And yes, we brought swimwear with us. So when we went into the natural pools that you guys see there, those are not man-made. That's natural. That just formed there. The clear water, like stunning. The water was freezing though. I'm talking ice cold. I couldn't be in the water for longer than like 10 seconds, girl. I think that after you see these hikes, you can really understand how Madagascar truly is a one of a kind. After that hike, of course, y'all know we crashed. We went back to the hotel, slept, ate, got some rest, because as you know, the next day we have another long drive. There is a lot of driving in this trip. If you want to see Madagascar and everything that it has to offer, you're gonna have to drive, girl. But I think that it made it so much better being able to just drive through the country and see just how beautiful it was. So yes, the next day we drove for another 7 hours to Tulear. Now Tulear is another stopover location. We don't have any plans here in Tulear. This was literally just so we could get to Anakao for the next couple of days. But the lodge or the hotel that we stayed at in Tulear was also so beautiful. The grounds, very stunning. Everything has this very nature vibe and it's just very well done. The room was actually very comfortable, and this was the only hotel room that we stayed in that had Wi-Fi in the room. So we were so grateful for that because, girl, we like Wi-Fi cellular service. Good luck, okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, I bought the Air Arlo that I told you guys about, the eSIM. However, very spotty service. Wi-Fi was very spotty in a lot of places. So you're really like disconnected pretty much. So we got up super early the next morning and headed to the boat dock to catch our boat to Anakao. Anakao is another island, another beach that we're gonna be visiting. This is where we depart from our driver, Jocelyn. We will not be seeing him anymore for the rest of the trip, but he drove us to the dock to catch our boat. And as you guys can see, it was so interesting because the tide had went out, so the boat couldn't come up to the dock. So we all loaded into like a tractor and it drove us to the boat. And then from there, we had about an hour and a half, 2-hour boat ride to Anakao. Now, Anakao, beautiful beaches, not as beautiful as Nosy Be, but still very stunning nonetheless. We stayed at the Prince Anakao and it was very nice. The property was great. They put us, again, a very rustic stay. Like I told y'all, this ain't no luxury 5-star. That's not what this is. But the property itself, absolutely beautiful. Again, right on the beach. And I don't know why they put us in this huge room. This was like a mega family room. I didn't like get to show y'all everything, but there was like a bunk bed, a bed up in the attic, the main bed, a pull-out bed. It was like 6 beds in this room. I don't know why they put us in there, but yeah, that's where we stayed in Anakao. All right, y'all, I know we haven't talked much on this trip. It's just been very fast-paced. As you guys can see, all the fun, different, cool things we've been doing. But we made it to Anakao, which is another island. And we're here for the next 3 days. We just got here maybe like 25-30 minutes ago. I just changed into my swimsuit. I'm finally getting to wear my green Monday swimsuit that I showed y'all. Don't know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna see like what excursions or like different activities we can do around Anakao. I know there's another island called Nosy Be or Nosy Be, I don't know how you pronounce it. That's supposed to be really nice, and there's supposed to be something around really good for snorkeling and diving. So we'll look into that as well, just kind of see like what there is to do, if we can like island hop for the next couple of days. The beach here is really pretty. Definitely not as pretty as Nosy Iranja or Nosy Be, like where we were at the top of the trip, but still really pretty nonetheless. So see if there's anything we can do today. If not, we'll probably just hang out on the beach, chill, have a good time. I packed my bag, my beach bag. This is the beach bag that I got from NARS when they took us to Italy. In here I have just like my normal like toiletries with like my lip glosses and things that I would bring. I got my camera because I'm trying to be a good vlogger on this trip. I haven't vlogged a travel trip in so long, so it feels a little bit weird, but I brought my book. This book right here. Listen, I love a good thriller. I'm not a big romance girl. Y'all know the last 2 books that I read were romance books. And I'm not a huge romance girl. Like, that's just not really my vibe. Give me the romance in real life. But I like the thriller stuff. Y'all know I like scary movies, I like thrillers. So this is like very entertaining for me. I'm on page 200. There's 360 pages, I think. 340. So I'm almost done basically. So I'll definitely finish this by the end of the trip. So I brought that. Mosquito repellent because, you know, honestly, I feel like the mosquitoes really aren't that bad. I expected to be getting 8 up, and I don't really have any bites, to be fair. So the mosquitoes really aren't that bad if you ask me. I'm bringing my camera just in case I want to try to take some pictures. Cards, so we can play cards and stuff, speaker, and then I also have like my little Polaroid camera for pictures and stuff as well. Honestly, I don't even think this is charged. And then what else do I have in here? That's it. That's all. So we're just gonna go hang out on the beach and just chill, or see if there's something for us to go do. But that's what we're gonna do. Talk to y'all later. And talk to y'all later, I indeed did not. At this point, we had 3 days left on our trip that we were spending in Anakao, which I would recommend you don't need to do. Anakao is nice, but there isn't much to do in this area, in my personal opinion. And I think that if you're looking for a more of a beach that you will enjoy, I think that Nosy Be is a better option, but we did enjoy it. It was very beautiful. There isn't much vlog footage from this because we really just chilled. We went to a couple neighboring islands to go to the beaches, but that's it. Like, we were really just beach chilling. We did go whale watching one morning, our last morning before we left, which was incredible. I've never seen whales in person, so seeing these giants come up out of the water, literally like maybe 20 feet away from the boat, mind-boggling. Like, and what's crazy is I really didn't even want to go that morning, y'all. I was so tired, and we had to go really early, like 7 in the morning. So I was tired, but it was so worth it getting to see the whales. And after this in Anakao, you guys, we headed home, and that is the end of our Madagascar, our 2 weeks in Madagascar. Madagascar is such a beautiful, amazing, diverse country. I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to be able to travel here and experience it the way that I did. Probably one of my best travels. Like, I really enjoyed that trip so much. I'm getting like kind of teary-eyed thinking about it. I would absolutely recommend this trip for anyone who loves to travel. If you're looking to gain a cultural experience, just see something else that the world has to offer. If you love nature, this is big for my nature lovers, my animal lovers. This is somewhere you have to go. Truly one of my best travels to date. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know it's a bit different than my normal type of travel content or just vlog in general, but I felt like the narration was needed to walk you guys through the trip. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Of course, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.